Hi Shami, my name is Vuvu. If you are new on here, please consider pressing that red subscribe button down below and joining the family. If you're an oldie, a member of the family, welcome back fam, and thank you for joining me once again. Today is an episode of TBT with V, and we will be talking about the real city Makoti. So if this is something that you're interested in, please do stay tuned. So I think my biggest problem in life is that I'm always late to the party. I'm late to the party. If there's a party, you must know that I'm always gonna be the one that's late. I'm late to this party. I'm very late to this party because by the time I arrived to the party, there were already 3 episodes out, and these are the 3 episodes that I'm gonna talk to you about. And then hopefully when the episodes drop every Friday, I'm gonna be back here talking to you guys on a weekly basis about the different episodes. Okay, thank you for understanding. So there are 5 women whose marriages are being shown to us in this, don't mind my nails, in this South African reality show called The Real City Makoti. We've got Linda, who's married to a xoxo man who seems like they are in between America and South Africa. Linda might be well known by some of us, including myself, with her or from her journey with Herbalife. And for me, that's when I started following her on socials, because I was also part of Herbalife at some point. And then you have the, what do they call, the country's Makoti. This is Anika. She's also blown up on social media over the past year and a half for having been an Afrikaner woman married to a xoxo man. And then you have Kinelwe. Kinelwe is in a polygamous relationship with a xoxo man. She's got 2 other sister wives. However, when we meet Kinelwe, she tells us from the bat that she was wife number 3, but now has been promoted to wife number 1, making her umamkhulu. There are 2 other ladies in this equation, so I don't know if the promotion happened while they were there or if they are new members of this family. Then you have Ceci. Is it, did I say 5? I think it's 4. Anyway, then you have Ceci. Ceci is in a polyamorous relationship. She is bisexual. Her husband is polygamous. Together, they've decided that they can work around this situation where they're both attracted to women. And if Ceci wants a relationship with the women that the man brings into the family, or that they choose for the family, then so be it. They can find a way to unpack this triple situation. Okay, so all of these women have very complex stories around marriage, and I absolutely love the conversations that can come out of this, because the discourse truly is going to be how one thing can mean different things to different people, even if it goes by the same name. And I do think that this is some discussion that South Africans need to have. So I'm absolutely intrigued by the show. I'm absolutely intrigued by the casting, and I cannot wait to see what comes out of these. So let's talk about episode 1 for a minute. Okay, let me take a sip of my tea before it goes culture. Okay, so episode 1 was basically an introductory episode, right? This is when we learned that Ceci was in a trouble. That Ceci was in a trouble. That Kinelwe is in a polygamous relationship. That Linda moves between countries. That Anika is married to a black man and is actually now asking for lobola. They've already had both their traditional and their white weddings, and she's now asking for lobola. We've also seen that Linda has reached out to Anika. It sounds like she wants to start a friendship with her. And what she has highlighted as appreciating from Anika is how she has glamorized being a Xhosa Makoti, and for somebody who's also Xhosa and a Makoti in the same culture, she had not really seen it from the angle that Anika is showing it off as on social media. So it's helped her embrace that, which is something very lovely actually. With Ginelwe in episode 1, we learned that she has infertility issues. And there's a scene there between one of the sister wives and the husband sitting around a table, kind of like coming across as mocking the situation, which really actually did make me very mad. Because one, from the woman's side, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't know what women suffer who have issues of conceiving. And number two, this is your sister wife, so this is a part of your family. You cannot be mocking her for not being able to have children. The husband is having a discussion with you, trying to figure out if you guys can start trying for kids. So I don't know if you are sure and know for sure that you can have children, which is why you can use this as a mockery in that situation. The husband, as somebody who's been holding her hand, Ginelo's hand, and walking this journey with her, definitely absolutely should not have laughed. This was his opportunity to call out the other wife and to make sure that it is known under his roof that these are not the kind of things that are going to fly. We are not here to mock each other. We are not here to laugh at each other's shortcomings. We are not here to belittle each other over things that we have no control over. So I don't know why he laughed. I really don't know why he laughed. However, during the discussion, because Ginelo comes and confronts the husband, not the sister wife, around this whole situation, and fine, they are also sangomas, sorry, in this family. The people who are married into this polygamous relationship are also sangomas, and they talk about how amadlozi have not yet opened up that door for them, and it will happen at some point. Kinelo is just impatient, etc, etc. And he comes out as empathetic enough to understand that in Xhosa culture, a wife does not just get married. They are there to increase the family name by a wenda. Kwenda meaning to make something grow, to increase, to multiply. And if you are not able to multiply as a wife, then owendanga, if you get what I'm trying to say, it almost means that like you're as good as not married. People can undermine you because you have failed to do the basic thing that you have been called to do in this household, which is increase. And then they have the whole dynamics of wanting a son because you want an heir so that this family name can increase even further beyond this point, which is a whole other complication. But he's very aware of this, so I don't even understand why he continues to laugh about it, right? But anyway, that's the thing for me. That was a big major issue for me in episode 1 for Kinelwe and her setup. In episode 1, when it comes to Ceci, I understand that they had somebody in this trouble who seems to not be in the trouble anymore. I don't understand why, but her name is tossed. Her name is Kim, and it seems like they both, Ceci and her person, want Kim back. I don't know why Kim left or what happened with Kim, but I know that there is somebody there, and it seems like they were both in their own different relationships with Kim, even though they were all tripartite. Hey, you guys get what I'm trying to say. They were all together, but they were all individuals as well. You know? I'm pretty sure this makes sense because I don't know how else to explain it. So this is what we learn of Ceci and her situation. What we learn of Linda and her situation is the fact that the lobola situation is not yet complete, okay, because it was not completed. So even though they have signed legally on paper, they still need to be married in the traditional sense so that she can be accepted in that family, that the husband can be accepted in this family. The mother uses the phrasing ubolekiwe, which means we've just borrowed you to this family. You're not officially part of that family as yet. We have not officially accepted them as yet, and that is something that's very, very, very crucial in Xhosa traditional and cultural believing and beliefs, and the mother wants this to be done as soon as yesterday, okay, so that everything can go smoothly. And then what we know of Anika and her husband is the fact that Anika wants to be loboled after her after being married traditionally and in having a white wedding. She wants the lobola now, even after her family had said it was not something that they would want. So this is where we find these women in episode 1. Let me have a sip of this tea water. Okay, so episode 2 is mainly about Ceci and her husband visiting the homestead where Kinelwe lives. Ceci wants to consult because she feels like her relationship is not how it used to be, especially now that Kim has left, and she wants to also consult around her heartbreak because Kim did a number on her and she's not okay. Her husband, while she is consulting with Kinelwe, her husband is talking to Kinelwe's husband. And Kinelwe's husband is actually asking some critical questions around the setup of this relationship and how the damage that's now being caused is being actually handled now that the person is no longer there with everybody else. And it seems like it's really a struggle. The other thing that Kinelwe's husband questions of this relationship is the fact that Ceci has 5 kids by this man, and this man has not actually officially married her. He says he believes in polygamy. He's Islam, or he's a Muslim, and I'm not sure which religious beliefs Ceci has, but I do know that she is bisexual, and that there are certain dynamics therefore in that kind of interaction when it comes to polygamy that they may not yet agree upon, which may be preventing him from getting married to her. But I think after 5 kids, child, and I think this was Kinelwe's husband's chat as well, is that 5 kids later there needs to be a solution somewhere, somehow. Fine. That's what mainly was happening in episode 2, and we also got the date between Linda and Anika, where Anika invites Linda to a beauty event. So come to episode 3. Episode 3 was really Anika's episode. This is where the whole discourse around being the female breadwinner comes through, and I think, having sat with that episode for quite a bit, I will be honest and say that I did not like her tone, her chosen way to deliver what she was delivering around the financial situation that her husband sees himself in. She feels like she is old lobola because even though her family say they don't practice lobola, the husband was meant to then, instead of paying lobola, pay for the weddings, but apparently he fell short. She had to then take up loans. She's made it seem to everybody else who's listening with the naked ear that she wants the lobola to assist in paying off the debt that she incurred to help him out with paying the weddings, which also would not sit well with anybody else. She does portray him to be a weaker type of man, and it's really sad how she's chosen to deliver the stuff. At no point, though, I'll be quite honest with you guys, that I feel that this woman does not love this man. I'd never felt that at any point, but I do think that she could have tried harder to ensure that she keeps his dignity in the conversations that she wants to have. And if you want to hear me talk a bit more about the situation, it is up on my TikTok at Vuvu_Vena. But this episode was definitely around Anika and her family, and I absolutely loved the dialogue that Sihle, Anika's husband, had with his father regarding the whole lobola change, etc., and how he protects her in her absence. I absolutely loved seeing that. This show is promising to bring forth a lot of discussions and a lot of discourse around a lot of things around marriage in the South African context, whether it be interracial, whether it be polygamous, polyamorous, and whether it be between the same cultures. And I'm looking forward to seeing how these women discuss the same thing that they have that's not actually the same. But that's all from me for now, and thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, bye for now.